Should you pull for Lucia, the Master of Rupture, or should you skip her and pull for Yidhari, Vivian, or Jufufu, or maybe just save your pulls altogether for a future patch? That's what we're here to talk about in today's video, guys. Going over the pros, cons for all these characters, best in slot partners for all these characters, future values of all these characters, and giving you a pull priority list, and whether you should or should not be summoning on any of these banners in today's video, guys. So without further ado, subscribe if you haven't already, and let's go ahead now and break down Vivian first and talk about her pros, cons, best in slot partners, and future-proof value, and then we'll go from there. Check the timestamps for a specific character if you want to see a specific character. Number one pro with her, she's an outstanding anomaly sub DPS, meaning she works in just about any single scenario in any anomaly configuration realistically. And we can kind of check that out right here, guys, and see the plethora of characters that she can actually work on. Obviously, Anagi works really well in the current meta with all the electric weak enemies, but you can also put her on teams with someone like Miyabi as well. Grace can also work here too. You can throw her on teams with Alice, that can also work. Not to mention, guys, the character she's running with on the current banner, which is Piper, can also work there as well. Now, I don't know if it'll be one of the top rated teams, but it definitely still work with someone like Piper being a main DPS. You can throw her on the team here with Vivian being your sub DPS, and with Piper having some pretty decent multipliers, you can actually get a lot of damage out of Vivian. But like I just said there, guys, she's also going to be working with Piper, which is on the current banner, which makes this banner absolutely amazing for her. This is going to be coming with the best A-rank DPS in the game in Piper right here, guys. So she pairs up super nicely with Piper, and that I fucking love to see that, okay, guys? But not only that, she is a damage scaler that will only get better over time. Now, why is that, you might ask? You might not know what Vivian does, so let's go ahead and check her out right here, guys. If you look at her core passive right here, guys, whenever a basic attack Feather Bloom hits a target, which can happen anytime she's off the field, basically every single time you're triggering a bloom with her, you're going to be proccing a certain percentage of the anomaly damage that is on that enemy currently. So let's say you were using someone like Piper, right? You then proc off the assault proc on the enemy, right? So you'll be doing 0.37% of that per 10 points of anomaly proficiency that she is going to be having. So the more anomaly proficiency that your Vivian has, the more damage you're actually able to output with this. And that also means the higher multipliers we get in the future. So that means if we get a better, like, Piper character, let's say in the future, right, her dots will become even stronger, or her procs for anomaly will be even stronger because that number's even higher, meaning these numbers here will proc at a higher value regardless if you have a higher anomaly proficiency or not. She can say the exact same and get stronger over time. And not to mention, guys, she's extremely free-to-play friendly with teams and builds all around. Like, realistically, all you're building into her is anomaly proficiency and anomaly mastery, which you can get from a lot of different W engines in the game. I guess we can even take a look at the build right here, right? Like, look at her build. This has anomaly proficiency here, right? Okay, cool, but look at some other things here, right? Okay, this Weeping Gemini, which is the thing that I use on her, guys, literally gives you so much anomaly proficiency, it's insane. You can also use things like Electro Lip Gloss, which is a BPW engine that gives 75 here. Rainforest Gourmet gives 75 here. Like, there is a lot of different options here on the board for her to use that are actually going to be giving her quite a bit of anomaly proficiency. Not to say her W engine's bad, because it's definitely not, and it definitely helps a lot. But with that being said, unlike a lot of our other DPS in the game that absolutely feel like they need their W engines, she does not feel like she needs hers. But now, with the pros, definitely comes cons, guys. Starting off with con number one, guys, her damage is dependent on your DPS build. Meaning, if your DPS is built like shit, guys, these are going to proc off at a lot lower values, guys. Not only this, she's going to be enhancing your disorders as well, so that means if you're not doing good main DPS damage when you're proccing disorders off, obviously the disorder damage is going to be, basically damage all around the board is going to be down, and especially for her kit. So if your build shit, then she's going to perform like shit as well. And also, one thing to note here, that means the more vertical investment you have with your anomaly-based characters, the stronger she will get as well. So it really wants you to get more vertical investment within these other characters so she shines more, or I guess her sub-DPS damage shines more. Next, guys, meter management can be cumbersome, and also you're going to be needing quick assists quite often. And what I mean by this, guys, or I guess maybe it's the defensive assist. I don't know the terminologies of these quick assist, defensive assists. Anyways, guys, basically whenever you're about to be attacked, you need to swap off when the little thing goes off, so you're able to get 2 stacks back to her. This is going to be absolutely essential for keeping her meter up, because if you don't have good enough energy regen on her, she will run out of these balloons, especially if you're running her on a team with, like, maybe Yanagi or even Miyabi, right? You're going to be going through those balloons so fast because they're using their skill so often and getting disorders and, like, anomaly procs off so often, meaning you need to make sure you're using quick assist as much as possible to keep her refreshed on her charges. Also, guys, she has some pretty decent team replacements. Like, let's say you didn't get her, right? I think there's a lot of other replacements in the game, or like really good replacements in the game that work, like obviously not at her level, but very close to on par. Yanagi, a very good replacement. Honestly, Bernice, a really decent replacement as well. Or really any other anomaly DPS could be used as a sub DPS with a stronger anomaly DPS on the team, right? So like, while yes, she's good, while yes, she's unique, there are definitely replacements that can work similar levels of how she works. Anyways, guys, on to her best in slot partners now. Yuzuha, obviously being #1 pick here for her, that best in slot support for any anomaly character. Miyabi and Yanagi here, guys, are all going to be really good picks, but that's not to say that she can't work with just about anyone. These are the characters that she works the best with right now. And in terms of future proofing, guys, she has a massive future, considering she does so much damage off the field while also scaling her damage to her main DPS's damage. So yes, guys, she will get stronger over time. I consider her to be like the Cypher of ZZZ, because Cypher will get stronger over time because she scales her damage off of your allies' damage that they're doing. So she's kind of the same way in that regard. I do think that if you pulled her, she would actually be pretty decent for your account in the future. Anyways, guys, hopping into our second rerun of the patch, which is going to be Miss Jufufu. Now, Jufufu for me, guys, is good in a lot of ways, but also probably the worst character on the banner. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I think she's the worst on the banner. And the reason that is, guys, is because, first of all, you really need her Winjin to max out her buffs. And why you need her Winjin, guys? Because her Winjin is very special in terms of it gives you a lot of attack percentage, which she needs a fuck ton of attack. She needs a good amount of crit rate, and she's also going to be needing a good amount of crit rate as well. Like, she just needs a lot of stats. So without her W engine here, guys, providing extra days and providing extra damage dealt by all your squad mates, this is going to be kind of down bad, because literally nothing else here is giving you an attack buff for her. So kind of down bad there. And kind of like I just mentioned there, guys, she's also really hard to build. She needs a lot of crit rate, she needs a lot of attack, and she needs impact as well. So overall, her build is just kind of rough. And the final con for her, guys, is literally that she's going to be the second or third best in slot for most scenarios, guys. Like, I mean, we can go look at some of her, like, used teams right now in Pridewin. Obviously not the most credible source. Don't really like Pridewin too much, but it does have at least some data to show what people are using her on teams for. And as you can see right here, guys, literally her only best in slot partner is like someone like Yishwin here, where she's like a rank 19 or like usage rate, but everyone else, like, she's second or third best in slot for in most scenarios. Like, there's always a better option, unless you're using her with Yishwin, then maybe that's not the case. But for the most part, Yishwin can be best in slot, or I guess you can work pretty nice with Evelyn. We'll get into best in slot partners here in a second, as you can see Yishwin and Evelyn. But yeah, guys, most of the time she is at second or third best in slot. Kind of wish this wasn't the case, but it is right now, and that's very unfortunate. But let's hop into the pros, because she definitely has some, guys. First, guys, she has great off-field days. Secondly, she has an increased decibel cap, meaning she increases your ult meter from, I believe, 3,000 up to 4,000, which is really nice, especially whenever you don't want to spam your ultimates off rip. You have a little bit more time to save, and then whenever you use the ult, you have some overcap and refill to get them later on the line. Also, she has the ability to increase this, or I guess give you charge for the rest of your team for your decibel cap anyways. I believe it's what, plus 300 every single time someone uses their ultimate move, so everyone on the team gets plus 300 back to their decibel meter, which is nice. Easy to play. Yeah, I think she's one of the easiest characters to play. Literally, you get her meter up, take her off field, and then she does her job, guys. And then also she does pretty decent buffs as well. Like, there's definitely a reason on why she is a second or third best in slot, and that's because, first of all, guys, she's obviously increasing your crit damage for the whole team. She's also going to be increasing chain or ultimate damage as well when in the Tiger War state, and she does a little bit more beyond that. But overall, guys, that's why I think she is so good. And then finally, hopping into her future proof ability, guys, yeah, I think she's kind of cooked. Like, there are already better options than her currently in the game. They require less out of them in terms of the build and stats and like what she needs to do on the field, or off the field, I guess you could say, to make her viable and good for the team. And there are just some other characters in the game that do that job so much better. I think of characters like Austrial, I think of characters like Trigger even, or I even think of characters like Lighter as well, that provide much more buffs and provide better stun capabilities while he's on the field. So overall, guys, kind of cooked there in my opinion. Now let's hop into our part 2 Octo Mommy Queen, Miss Yidhari, guys. I like Yidhari a lot, I'm not gonna lie to you. Now, in terms of her pull value, we'll get into that later in the video, but I overall do like her quite a bit. Hopping into her pros first, defense ignore, as with every single character in the Rupture class, guys. Amazing. HP scaling, which is pretty good. You get a lot higher HP, you can get pretty decent scalings there. Rip Miasma. Yes, guys, any of those Miasma enemies that put their shields up, she absolutely shreds through it. A lot of players complain about Miasma, and she is a solution for it. Now, guys, she's also going to have a massive damage scaling when below 50% HP. She gets a massive damage bonus. Whenever you're playing her to the brim of death, to the brink of death, you get her below 50% HP, she gets a massive damage increase. Also, she has great free-to-play teams. Like, I think of characters like, obviously, the new Panda here, obviously, like Minato here, why I had new A rank here, I don't know. I couldn't think of his name when I was doing this. Anyways, Minato, Panda work really good for her. Also, she can work her characters like Polkra as well and still come out on top. So overall, really good partners and really good teammates here. But on to the cons, guys, because the cons is high risk, high reward, meaning you do have to be lower HP to make sure you're getting the damage out. Meaning if you get hit with a move that does a lot of damage, she could potentially die. And you don't want her to die. So potentially kind of down bad if you don't like high risk, high reward gameplay. Personally, I do. I think it makes the game a lot funner to play your characters at low HP and get big damage bonuses from it. Next, guys, not much team support. And when I say this, guys, is I think she has great free-to-play teams, but in terms of the support for those teams, she realistically, guys, only has 2 supports right now. That being, number 1, Lucia, number 2, Panda. Those are the best in-slot supports for her, and the only supports in the game that really boost up 1, HP percentage, or 2, sheer force damage. Now, with that being said, that doesn't mean like attack scalers can't work for her. They're just not the most efficient at helping her out because she is HP scaling, meaning we need more characters to come out to really support her a lot better, guys. But we'll talk more about this when we get to future-proof ability, guys. And then finally, complex gameplay. Yeah, guys, she has a lot of mechanics, kind of like how Yishun is. I would consider Yishun to be more of like an expert-level character because of how many different things she has. She has like a parry. She has like a ability where you hold down when enemies stun you, do more damage. She has a plethora of different moves you can use, and she is kind of the same way, especially with her charges and charging up her hammer and stuff like that to get more and more and more damage and stuff like that. She definitely has a higher skill cap than some other characters would have. In terms of the future-proof ability, guys, she will probably be the top tier DPS or the best DPS in the game due to her ice typing and when played correctly. Also, she has no team support, so when HP inflation catches up, then she's kind of washed. So that's the future I see her having, guys. Like, she's gonna be really good off rip, but she doesn't really provide anything to the team. But I will say one thing I didn't put here. You will have more supports for Rupture coming out, meaning she could potentially get better off of those supports coming out. But don't hold your breath. She's a main DPS with not really much to offer to the team, meaning she can't really be a sub DPS, meaning that it's kind of cooked whenever she eventually gets power crept. And then finally, guys, the moment you might have been waiting for, Miss Lucia here, guys, hopping into her pros, cons, best in slot partners, and future probability. Number 1, guys, massive sheer damage bonus. Next, guys, crit damage and damage percent bonuses. She's a solid DPS. She's going to be healing your allies up, and her banner is amazing, guys. So literally, you're playing high risk, high reward. She's going to be healing here. Honestly, every single, I guess, Rupture character that uses HP, she's going to be helping them up, guys. Banner is absolutely amazing. It comes with a Minato, probably going to be the new best in slot A rank DPS in the game, and with Piper as well, which is the current best in slot A rank in the game right now in terms of DPS capabilities. She is solid DPS. I would say she does more damage off field than someone like Yao does. Crit damage buff, fucking amazing. Anyone can take use of that. And then sheer damage bonus, amazing. But with sheer damage bonus comes a niche T that only she has, guys. Niche outside of Rupture teams, and this means that who the fuck else is using sheer damage bonus, and who the fuck else is using HP percent bonuses? No one. The only thing you're left with is crit damage and damage percent bonuses, and the crit damage bonus is only 5% more than Yao, and Yao gets attack percent bonus. I will say, the better overall support for your account would be someone like Yao, because she can actually work for sheer force damage. She cannot work for normal damage. Her sheer force damage does not convert over to that, nor its HP percentage. So, kind of down bad there. Also requires good resource management to keep max buff uptime, meaning you need her energy to be correct, and you need to make sure her meter is up most of the time to make sure you're keeping up buffs and keeping up her sub DPS damage. On top of this all, guys, if you're not running her on a Rupture-based team, you have to have a stun-based character. If you don't have a good stun-based character, you are kind of cooked. A lot of DPS teams nowadays, if they don't use a stun character, they're using probably double support. So it is kind of cooked there as well if you plan to use her off that team. But hopping into best in slot partners, guys, Yidhari, Yishun, and Minato are going to be her best in slot partners. Obviously, Minato being on the banner, so you obviously get one of her best in slot partners off a rip. And then in terms of future ability, guys, she is the best and brightest buffer for the Rupture class. She will be that bitch for the future meta of ZZZ, guys. Rupture is the future of ZZZ, guys. Now, hopping into our pool priority here, guys, let's give a 1, a 2, a 3, and a 4 here. At number 4 on this list, guys, fucking Jufufu. She is just kind of washed already, guys. I'm sorry if you're a Jufufu stan, guys. She is down there in the fucking dumps already. Number 3, guys, for me personally, honestly, guys, I think Yidhari. The reason I think it's Yidhari, guys, is because of the fact that she is a DPS. She's going to be super strong. Her banner might be kind of weaker. It has Panda unit on, which is nice. But overall, I feel like her banner is overall weaker than Lucia and Vivian's banners. And then on top of that, I feel like she has less usability outside of her being a main DPS. So that's why she's there. Next is going to be Vivian, guys. I think she's in a great pool. If you have a lot of anomaly characters in your account, she could be a great pickup there. And then finally, guys, we are going to have Miss Lucia here, guys. She is literally going to be having probably the best in slot A-rank DPS in Minato. She is going to be the best in slot support for Rupture-based teams and can still be used outside of Rupture-based teams as long as the teams rank correctly. she's a fucking must pull, I think. I think that genuinely, guys, I think that Lucia's banner, if you're a new player coming to the game especially, or if you're a free-to-play player or a casual player that doesn't play the game much, this banner can quite literally give you everything you need to succeed in at least one of the in-game game modes with what it's providing to you. A fire DPS, which we don't have any free-to-play options there in Minato. We're also getting a free-to-play physical DPS there as well, so that also provides you with so much usability, even if you didn't maybe say have like a Vivian or something, right? You can get something like that in the future that helps out Piper do her damage. So not only are you getting two great type matchups in terms of DPS, you're also getting the best in slot support for Rupture-based characters, which will be the future of ZZZ in my opinion. And yeah, I think this is a must pull. I think that Lucia is a must pull character, unless you just hate her character design, or you just hate her, or hate fucking Sheer Force, or hate Rupture. You pull her. Anyways, guys, that's gonna do it. Subscribe if you haven't already. I love you guys. See you later. Bye-bye. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. Bye.